Hi, happy birthday, Sadie Hartman. And hello, entire horror world. You know, we write all this scary stuff, and we really do. We write some scary shit, but like, we really are just kind of a bunch of love bugs, aren't we? Yeah, it's a very warm moment in horror history, isn't it? Not that I've ever known another era to know. Maybe it's always been this warm. I'm Josh Malerman, author of Bird Box, and we are listening to the soundtrack to Bird Box right now. Because, for two reasons. Number one, I can't even believe there's a fucking soundtrack for a movie of a book I wrote. And number two, I listened to this while writing Malorie, which is what I'm going to read today. This is the ARC cover. The official cover, I've posted it so many times online. You're probably like, yeah, dude, we saw it. But it's a woman with a blindfold. Different woman, different blindfold. Maybe the same blindfold. How would I know? But here we go. We're gonna start with putting my glasses on, or else I'm gonna have to do it by memory. Which, God, that would be badass. Oh, what if I did it blindfolded? Wouldn't that be just amazing? You'd be like, this dude, what? Okay. So, Malorie picks up, at least the very, very beginning, picks up 2 years after the Bird Box ended. Seemingly picks up where it left off, because the very first page is the Jane Tucker School for the Blind. I mean, that could say anything, but that I did remember. That I do have by heart. Here we go. Let's read a little of it, shall we? Malorie stands flat against the brick wall of a classroom. The door is locked. She is alone. The lights are off. She is blindfolded. Outside in the hall, violence has begun. She knows this sound, has heard it in nightmares, has heard it in the echoes of a fallen house full of sane people tearing one another apart as she gave birth to her son. Tom is out there in the violence right now. Malorie doesn't know where. She breathes in, she holds it, she breathes out. She reaches for the door to unlock it, to open it, to find her son and daughter among the screams, the hysteria, the frenzy. Something cracks on the other side of the door. Sounds like someone slamming their head up against the wall. She pulls back from the doorknob. When she last saw Olympia, the 6-year-old was reading Braille books in the Tucker Library. A dozen others were with her, listening to the classical music played through the school speakers by way of the record player in the office. Malorie listens for the voices of those people now. She needs to know if this violence has reached the library, reached her daughter. If it has, she will look for Tom first. She listens. Her kids have taught her a lot about listening since arriving at the Jane Tucker School for the Blind. And while Malorie will never hear the world the way they do, she can try. But there's too much noise out there now, chaos. It's impossible to discern one voice from another. She thinks of Annette, the blind woman much older than herself, whose name she heard screamed moments ago as Malorie, hungry, walked the hall to the cafeteria. Before Malorie had time to process the nature of the scream, Annette herself came around the corner, blue bathrobe and red hair trailing like spinning sirens, knife in hand. Malorie had time to note the woman's open, unfocused eyes before closing her own. Malorie thought, she's blind, so how is she mad? Then she went still. Annette passed her, breathing heavy, moving fast, and Malorie, hearing the first guttural howls from deeper in the school, stepped blind to the nearest classroom and locked its door behind her. She reaches for that knob again now. The last she saw of Tom, he was in what was once the staff lounge, pieces of a new invention at his knees. Malorie is responsible for those pieces. Only 6, Tom the boy invents like Tom the man his namesake once did. Often Malorie's instinct is to humor this impulse. She feels a mother must, or perhaps a mother should, have in the old world. Now here, she always destroys what Tom's made and reminds him that the blindfold is the only protection any of them will ever need. Yet, Annette is blind, and now mad. So what's going on? What does that mean? This is an amazing thing that Sadie has thrown together. Mother horror, happy birthday. Love from me and Allison and the dogs and the cats and the fish and the snake and the ducks and the creepshow masks and the wide array of crazy horror. Oh, Vincent Price says happy birthday to you. And They Live and Marty Feldman. I love Marty Feldman. The fog says happy birthday. Here. The fog actually wanted to really say happy birthday. Happy birthday, see. So, I can't wait to see who's up next. And can we do this again, please? Can we do this every week, please? Can you have a birthday every week? But then you'd be really old. But then that'd be cool. You could be like a 10,000-year-old woman. Mother horror. I mean, that's amazing. All right, enough out of me. Goodbye. See you all soon.